Hi everyone, welcome to No Contact. We have producer Jordan on the mic.
What up, what up?
Oh my God.
This is how I talk.
This episode is with Matt LeGrande. I'm so excited. He has a story that I think he needs to make a one-person show about. He essentially took in a woman he met in a coffee shop. I'll leave it at that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, it's
enticing.
Oh yeah, because Anya was 51st that day. It's a good one. It's a real good one. We touch on a little bit of 12-step, a little bit of sobriety stuff. As always, what we learned, which is you need to focus on yourself. Isn't that annoying?
Oh, your episodes have like moral takeaways.
I think some people have felt that way.
Okay.
We've helped more people than I ever expected. I was kind of trying to help myself. To be honest.
Is this a self-help podcast?
As in me, it's helping myself.
Oh.
100%. No, I've been healing. And it's cool to hear. Maybe some other people have too. I just don't want people to feel alone. And maybe don't take in a woman at a coffee shop. Or do if you want what happened to Matt to happen to you. Before that, we're going to read a listener letter. This one is about, this person said, I want to send you a story about why I went no contact with organized religion. Once, my rabbi got taken. Oh, like the movie?
Oh.
Okay.
It is because it's spelled taken.
It is. Okay, once my rabbi got taken and held hostage for ransom, then it was discovered his family made that up and he just went missing because he was arrested without identification for harassing women at the mall.
Oh my God. The smoke screen that they tried to use was way more suspicious than the original thing.
If you had to hide a crime, would your first thought be to say you were held hostage for ransom?
To like call local journalists to
right, to get more attention on the story. Say you went to a med spa. You had a freaking upper bleff.
On vacation.
Or that. Okay. So I'm trying to think of something that's like slightly humiliating so people will be like, well, you admitted it.
Oh.
Sorry to teach everyone how to lie good. The synagogue made a big post about it. Like, everybody find our rabbi. He's been taken. And then the post was deleted and no mention of the incident was murmured. It was just really quickly quieted down at synagogue. Except it was on national news. And I found out because of the news. Since I didn't live at home anymore. I called my mom for the tea. And it just seemed like one day we were very worried about his
It's disappearance.
It takes two people to read when I'm reading.
Podcast producer.
And then we communally just shut the fuck up. I do distinctly remember shaking his hand when I was getting bat mitzvahed and being so taken aback by how slippery soft they were that my brother and I joked he was a perma jerker.
Does that make your hands soft?
Does that just mean he shaved his hands smooth? Is that the...
Wouldn't that make them rough? That would be like a lumberjack hand. Or is it like a lube thing?
He's using lube inadvertently as a hand cream. Okay, you nailed it. That's so like 13-year-old humor. I love it. It was that instance that shed light to me that all religions' clergy have grimy boy fingers too.
It really felt like they were building to a big point.
I think, yeah, this is a big point. That icky business with clergy folk keeps me no contact with organized religion. But life hack, go to synagogue on Saturday mornings. They have Yumi brunch. I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know.
Just any synagogue?
I'd have to assume so. They were so general with that statement.
All right. I'd like to find a woman-run synagogue and enjoy a Yumi brunch.
Which exists, right? In synagogues?
I'm sure.
There's like women rabbis, right?
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. I'm sure in LA.
So what was your take on this beginning part when it said he was arrested without identification for harassing women at the mall? What does that mean without identification?
I wondered that. I wonder if maybe he did go missing at first because when they arrested him, he's not going to cop to who he is.
Oh.
So his family is like, where is this man?
I see.
And they're not getting a call from the police station.
He didn't give his name.
Like, hey, we got your rabbi.
Right. And he must have threw his wallet in the fountain or something.
Or didn't bring it. Or threw his wallet in the fountain.
Because they're at a mall. Remember, it said at a mall. But
Jordan's a writer. A comedian and writer also. Great visual. He probably did throw it in a fountain.
And if he didn't bring his while that makes it premeditated. And that's a heavier sentence.
Has this happened to you? Do you know, because this all happened to you?
I'm rabbi.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Jordan's a disgraced rabbi. Wow. I didn't grow up religious at all. You didn't either, right?
Not even a little.
Not even a little. We have plenty of other trauma that's not religious trauma, and shit like this makes me very grateful for that.
It is always funny to hear what someone's breaking point is, because it's from the outside. You're like, that's what it was.
It's never what you expect.
Yeah.
And that's kind of true for, I think, interpersonal no contacts as well, from what I keep listening and learning. Okay, great story. Thank you so much for submitting that. This is the story with Matt LeGrande. This is one of my, I'm gonna keep saying this every time it's true. This is one of my favorite episodes. Thank you so much, Matt, for telling me this story. And if he does make a 1-person show about it, we'll put the freaking ticket link in bio. Okay, thanks.
I really hope one day we can be in each other's lives. Okay, bye.
Oh my god, I haven't even thought about this story in so long.
So is it kind of over now?
It never ends.
That's what I thought. But that's how it is sometimes. Okay, I was just telling Anya this. I was trying to remember when you first started.
No, it is over.
You and I were on like a long car ride to like a Don't Tell in the OC or something when you told me like actively, you're like, so I have this person living in my house and I don't know what to do.
Are we recording?
Let's get into it.
Oh, okay. Are we recording on you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll do your intro after, but this is Matt, part of the DSP family. And I spent all day, I spent my Easter listening to Matt's interview with me on his podcast, On God. Tell the people. Tell the people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen to my podcast on God. We discuss spirituality and religion and what you think about God now. And then we're going to start reading the Bible.
No way.
But in a fun, gay kind of way. It's great. I think I'm excited to read the Bible again.
That's something I've never
I mean, someone commented, they're like, man, I have not heard a faggot say Ham, Shem, and Japheth.
Me neither.
I was like, this is a first.
And the T is you're coming from the perspective of like, you are a missionary who was in Bali for most of your life, right? And now you're a crazy LA gay guy.
Yeah.
And that's like what we call a POV
anymore. But yeah, most of my life was in Indonesia. What?
No, it's just so cool. You and I both have crazy POVs, and I think I've found podcasts that really suit that. I love, and like, I haven't even talked about Skylar's Help Me Be Black. I got to get him on here too.
You have to do that pod.
Adopt it. I will not be doing his pod. I can't help him at all. Let's start at the beginning.
I've never. Do I just dive straight into it?
I would love for you to dive straight into it.
Wait, remind me how you heard about it. So
we were driving to a downtown comedy show in the OC. I feel like this was last summer. Does that timeline track?
It would have had to be like.
It was active. You were actively in the middle. You were like.
This would have had to be like November.
Okay.
Or December 2024.
That makes sense then.
Like
that makes sense.
A year and a half ago.
Because I was new to LA, and this was like. We'd met before, we'd talked before, but this was probably our longest conversation. And I was like, oh, diva. I was like, I relate in terms of not wanting to kick someone out of your house, but sometimes.
Yeah, you blew my mind in that car ride.
Did I?
Yeah, totally. I just I'm such a judgmental person and I just didn't have like really any like strong perception of who you were.
Oh, shit.
And, you know, you just have such an interesting background. And the fact that, like, I've done every drug and now I'm sober. And then you were raised in, like, a drug addict household. And so you've avoided drugs your whole life and have no interest.
My mommy did them for me. And my daddy. And they're bad friends.
Yeah, no, it was just interesting. I'm really thankful for that random car ride.
Me too.
Wow. There's a reason we drive to San Diego to do 10 minutes.
I see now that I'm in 12-step 2. I'm like, and that's higher power.
No, totally.
Higher power made me be like, hey, let's carpool to the OC Don't Tell.
I know. The more I sound so woo-woo, but the more I allow myself to like be present, like the right people just come into your life.
And sometimes the wrong people.
And honey, you're the right person for me. Yeah. Oh, and the wrong people.
And the wrong people.
Yeah, I know. I literally. The first time I talked about this story, I was like, I think I have really, really good boundaries. And the person, I was on a podcast and the person stopped me and they're like, Matt, you currently have a homeless person living in your house.
Mm-hmm. Which could be fine. There's times when that could be fine, but this was not fine.
No.
So how did you, let's put it out here. This is an older woman.
It's interesting because it's been a minute. And so I have more perspective on it and have a lot more perspective on my part in it.
And that's the work.
But I will say this. From the beginning, I was at a coffee shop in Silver Lake. I had just left my corporate job and I didn't know what I was going to do with my time or how I was going to make money. And I think I was just sitting there kind of sad at a coffee shop and a woman approached me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I'm fine. I'm like kind of, yeah, I'm fine. And she was like, "Honey, you don't have to lie to me. Something's going on with you."
Master.
And it was just like very strong mother energy. And
what age range are we talking?
She is, I want to say 60.
Like she could be your mother, literally.
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 60, no teeth, bright red lipstick, really great, big, black curly hair, maybe 5 feet tall. Just like a very interesting looking person. Mm-hmm. And I shouldn't say no teeth. I think she has like some of her bottom teeth. But I'm always drawn to a character. And
I know. Addicted to excitement.
Shit. Damn, you're really going to clock me on this. Yeah.
I'm clocking myself throughout. I just quoted an ACA tenet, to be clear. Adult child outcomes.
Well, and this is an interesting way. The catalyst to the story was not selfish motives. This person was really sweet and they asked me how I was doing. And then I kind of opened up to them about where I was at. And they're like, "I'm looking for an assistant." And I was like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah, I, need someone to help me with some administrative tasks." And I was like, "Oh, I was a personal assistant." She was like, "I can pay you X amount of money an hour if that works for you."
I had no idea that's how this started.
Yeah.
So she started in a position almost of financial power.
Totally. And so I was like,
okay.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, wow, God just brings people into your life. Like I just left my job. Wasn't sure what I was going to do. I needed something flexible so I could focus on my career more. And then I'm being offered this job by this person who seemed to be really caring and really vibrant. And then we started talking about movies and she was so funny and we were laughing.
That'll control me.
And I remember I had a gut feeling when she started talking to me where I was like, something is off. Something is off. And I mean, it's okay. God, I'm so dumb. Literally, like the first task that we did, I was calling the Roosevelt Hotel to tell them to refund her for her room that she had. And so I'm calling the Roosevelt Hotel and I was like, "I got this. I've done this for my boss. Like I've done this for different people."
That's the thing. That's either like a rich person behavior or like an absolute decimate homeless person behavior. Those are the two people that are like, that hotel needs to give me my money back, and almost no one in between.
Yeah, totally. And so from my perspective, also she's a accomplished writer. She's written books for people. You can look up her name. So like I Googled her and I was like, "Oh wow, this person is legit."
Credentialed, sure.
So also I was just like, wow, this could be like a mentor for me. So on the phone, like, she was like, I was talking to them about what they did. And then she was like, "Give me the phone for a minute." And she was like, she's also one of the most articulate people I've ever met. And she was like, she grabbed the phone for me and she was like, "Hello, may I please talk to Benjamin? He's the manager." And I was like, and then she was like, "Hi, Benjamin. I had one of the most appalling experiences in my entire existence at your place that you call a job. The outlets, they weren't working. The bed sheets, how do I describe them? Deplorable. and the condiments in the drawers used and perhaps missing. So I will need a full refund immediately. Thank you, Benjamin. And I hope you're having a good day. And then like, I was just like,
that's rich person behavior. That's rich person communication, 100%.
But like, it was so like, it was like fascinating to watch. And I was like, who is this And she was so funny the way she did it too. Because she's just throwing underhanded shade, you know, the pauses being like, how would I describe the situation? The worst.
And I'm sorry, for gay people, an older bitch who acts this way is like fucking kryptonite. We love like a sassy
my
bitch.
God.
They say like lesbians and gay guys have nothing in common except like middle-aged actresses or just queens like this.
Oh, that's funny. I've never heard that.
Queens like this out in the world.
She's a total queen.
Yeah.
I still have
That'll
mad
get you.
respect for her attitude. She could like start a cult. And
I mean, she
probably
did it on you.
would join. So I was doing these tasks.
You kind of did join. You were kind of in a one-person cult.
Yeah.
She was your leader.
No,
Okay, keep
for
going.
sure. I would have gone. I went to many wild lengths for this person. And you know what? So, you know, she was like, keep track of your hours on your phone and then I'll pay you, blah, 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 blah. First week, I did like maybe 5-6 hours of work for her. I sent her the total. She paid me. There was no problem. Then the next week, there was some, I guess it would be called shady activity where she was like, I don't have any credit cards or debit cards. My bank account is being like flagged or something. So if you could take out cash for me from your account and then I will PayPal you. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like she's already proven to me that she's paid me back. And then she paid me back that time as well. So I would like took out like hundreds of dollars for her. She paid me back, whatever. And then we developed this. She was so funny. Also, oh my God. I was going through a breakup at the time. I had dated a guy for 6 months who ghosted me. And I was really, I don't want to say heartbroken because in retrospect, I really didn't like this person, but I was an obsession over them.
And being ghosted at all sucks.
I was squirming on the inside. I needed something, and I went to slaw for a while after this. I needed a new obsession. And when I look at the way that I was with this person, I needed them at the time just as much as they needed me. I needed a project because I didn't have a guy to be my project anymore.
And that's on recovery.
This 60-year-old bitch was my new project for sure. But one night she was like, she was living at a sober living at the time. And
which, like, if people aren't familiar, to me, that gives transitional, like, halfway house vibes. Like,
it's definitely a transitional phase, but I think I really, I've gotten better about this, which is sad in a sense. I see the best in people. And so I was like, this person, they're like really putting their best foot forward and they're like making life changes. And so I was like, I want to help this person.
And you'd been sober at that point too, right?
Yeah.
So you probably felt kinship in that way.
Totally.
You were like, I'm a fellow. I should support a fellow.
Exactly. And I was like, and I want to see this person transform. And we started hanging out more, and people were saying that they noticed this person becoming like more themselves and like being calmer. And the fun thing is, like, we would call it, like, I would call her out on stuff because she was she would act that way. The audacity that she had with that man on the phone, she would act that way around just like common people. And I would be like, girl, you cannot talk that way to people. And she'd be like, you're right. You're right.
Which is like green flag, green flag. Okay, she takes feedback.
Yeah. And we kind of became this dynamic duo. And I thought I had found like my comedy partner.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd watched this show.
Oh my God. It was so funny. And she's from a reservation. And she's Native American. I think in Oklahoma. And I was like, I want to make a documentary where we go to this reservation, we do a road trip, and we like film your whole experience. And she's like, let's fucking do it. And I was like, I've never been more excited about anything in my life.
Because what a story. Like,
totally.
what a undiscovered gem, I imagine she seemed to you.
And she had like deep Hollywood roots too. Like, her dad was a famous actor. And
do you know who?
Yeah, I don't want to say who, but
fair. That's so fair.
he was in like some big movies, and he was blacklisted during the MacArthur era when they like anyone who associated with like anyone who said a slip something with communism. It was so like talking about cancel culture. You were just like cut out of Hollywood, and he suffered from that. Because I guess he was at some party or knew some guy, and they just like took him off the audition list or whatever.
Was he Native also?
No, he was Jewish, and her mother was Native. And so I always said that to her. I was like, "You're half Jewish," and she goes, "No, I'm not half anything. You don't want to be half something. You want to be something." Like she would just say these things, like these like icon, like it was very much like she was like Sunset Boulevard. Like, you know, these phrases, like, these are iconic lines. These are like Real Housewives lines. So I was like, okay, so you're half Native American, half Jewish. She goes, no, honey, I'm not half anything. I am something.
Which, like, okay, you're right. That's like a good point.
I guess, but I was like, but technically you, you know, it's like, but technically you are. And she goes, no,
I'm fully both.
Technically nothing. Oh, she goes, I am a Native American.
You can't argue with that.
And I was like, okay, all right, girl. So funny. She's probably to this day the funniest person I've ever met. Doesn't that suck? So incredibly smart. Like her brain is like works so quickly. Yeah, but then she eventually, it's hard to know with people who are so master manipulators what they're saying is true and what is not, because she would. So according to her, like the sober living that she was at, she said someone in her sober living was smearing shit all over the walls.
Which is possible.
Which is totally possible. I did call the place, and they're like, she's not telling the truth. And
what spurred you to call them and double check?
Because I was worried about her, because I was like, this is my employer and they're going to be homeless.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I was like, I got to get my coin. Right?
Yeah. It's just, I don't know how many people have ever said that sentence, that their employer is about to be homeless.
Yeah.
Usually employers are making me homeless from my experience. Okay. So you were like, let me just see, this person's taking care of me. Let me take care of them. Let me see if I can like make sure they're
and at
safe.
This point, like they were helping me so much. They were the biggest cheerleader in my life at the time. They
for
were
your creativity, for your.
Oh my God. They like watch. They're like, can I see sets of yours? So I send them some sets, and they're like, you have it. You have it, kid. You're the next big thing. I see huge things for you. You know, just like everything I wanted to hear. And they were like, you're so handsome. You're so capable. You're so competent. And she was like, don't let this piece of shit man hold you back. You've got the whole world in your just like everything. I needed someone like that in my life at the time. And it was so funny too, because I was like actively working a SLA program, which was about like not giving my power to other people and like not getting validation from others and like getting it from the source or God or whatever you want to call it. And at the same time, I had no perspective on like how I really made this person like my new higher power.
Because you're like, well, I'm not dating this person.
No, not at all.
Some 60-year-old woman. Like, I'm young and gay. Why would she have power over me? And I've done this, and I've outsourced my sort of need to be nannied or to have a project to someone who I'm not fucking. So I think it's not problematic because people don't talk about this shit as much. And
I was being helpful, and I'm like helping someone, being of service, I guess, helping someone who is in need. So she left her sober living, and she was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess she would do this all the time. I guess I'll just freeze to death outside. I'll be fine. And then I'm like, well,
Mom?
I'll be like, well,
that is very Jewish mother. She's being fully Jewish mom.
I was like, come stay. Is your mom Jewish?
No. So maybe I shouldn't say that. I just know. Know.
She was like, yeah. I was like, so where are you staying tonight? She goes, I guess I'll just freeze to death outside. And I go, okay, you're coming over.
Yeah.
And I let her into the house. As soon as she gets into the house, it's like bag is dropped, starts unpacking, like makes herself at home. And I'm very hospitable. And honestly, I have a great place. So I was like, make yourself comfortable. This is fun. And she was like, in exchange for like you letting me stay here, like I'm going to be, I didn't even ask her to do this. She was like, I'm going to deep clean your place. She's like, I can tell it's a nice place, but it's never been deep cleaned before. I'm going to organize it. I'm going to be cooking and cleaning. And I was like, this, I just have like the funniest person in the world who is a tour de force, who's going to just like shape up my life. And
Can I be honest? I've let a friend do this and it did work out. So you're not that crazy for believing this. One of my best friends moved in with me and she really did clean my entire house. I didn't ask her. I came home and it was like gorgeous one day. So this isn't absolutely delusional that you thought any of this could be true.
Yeah.
I knew her for years, but
I know. I had known this person for weeks. But I will say the thing that sucked me in was that I knew so many other people in the rooms of sobriety who knew her, and they like, she used to have this huge big life, and then she got addicted to fentanyl, and then when she quit that, like, she was starting her life over. And I was like, how great, like, that we met and that I get to be a part of, I don't know, her new experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were watching movies together. She was showing me old films. She would show me films her dad was in. And we would laugh so hard. Like, oh my God, there were times I have videos of us like laughing together where I'm like almost wetting my pants.
Well, there was a video that she posted. I think it was after the car ride where you first started telling me the story. You're like dancing by her hospital bed. Is there a little background on that? That you can
this
share?
was like a weird thing because she was, I will never know the truth of the situation, but like, she kept having to go to the ER. And it was like, anytime this would happen, I had to drop everything I was doing and take her to the ER. But she would be like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. You have to take me to the ER. I can't breathe. And I'd be like, oh, I have to like go work on this problem. She's like, okay, I'll just walk there. And I'll be like, okay, I'm taking you to the ER. So
Did she
then,
have asthma? Did she have any reason for this to be recurring?
I mean, you're 60, you've been addicted to fentanyl for 10 years. Like,
good point.
You don't have teeth. Like, there's probably some underlying health conditions.
It's a really good point.
So I would like drop everything. We'd go to the ER and like, I mean, and then she would get checked in and then she would be out in like 30 minutes.
Was she just getting like a prescription?
I don't know and I can't speak to it, but it's possible that she was getting like they're putting her on morphine or something.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me in retrospect, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just calming for her to be in the ER.
People like attention, even
but
if it's medical.
I do think that it was a type of way to control me.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't even about the hospital visit.
It's
it was
about
just
the
to
crisis.
make sure that she knew that anytime she wanted me to drop everything, that I would. Mm-hmm. And I showed her time. We must have gone to the ER 10 different times.
Okay, I'm gonna try
in
this.
like 60 days.
This is good to know that we can do this.
Oh my God. Yeah. If you want to know if like a lover is into you, yeah. If you want to know if a lover is in you, just be like, I have to go to the ER. And they're like, I can't. And you're like,
I can't breathe.
I guess I'll walk. So crazy. One time we went to the ER and we get there and they're like, all right, have a seat. There's 8 people in front of you. And she goes, I can't do that. And I was like, I'm sorry, we're just going to have to wait. There's 8 people in front of us, whatever. We're sitting down for about 10 minutes. And then she starts screaming at the top of her lungs in the ER.
I thought she couldn't breathe.
She starts screaming and she goes, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And I run over to the doctor and I'm like, she's dying. We have to take her in. Like, she's not going to make it.
Did you believe that?
It was real. She was dying. And I was like, doctor, and they go, everyone, so they like take her into the room and I'm like, okay, they're taking her out. And she was like, I'm not going to make it. They take her into the room. They like put her down on a bed. They hook her up to something. And the doctor leaves the room and then she turns and looks at me and she winks and she goes, got him.
I have to try this. I was like, they fell for it.
And she goes, God, you did so good out there. And I was like, I wasn't acting. I thought that was real. And she goes, you knew what was going on. It was wild.
So was that the first time that you sort of saw the peek behind the curtain where you're like, oh, this bitch is running game? Like, when did it really start to click for you?
That was a few weeks in where like that really rubbed me the wrong way because I wasn't in on the scheme.
Of course.
Okay, so a time before that, this is so crazy. A time before that was later on in the game. That was near the end. And that was when I saw, like, oh, she doesn't even care if I'm being manipulated. Because I thought I was in with her.
She doesn't care if you know you're.
So one time she had a rental car, which I paid for under my name. She was supposed to have it back. Cards. Exactly. She was supposed to have it back within 24 hours. And then she showed it to my house the next day, still with the rental car. And I was like, this was only agreed for 1 day. And she goes, oh, I'll get them to cover it tomorrow. And I go, okay. We go into, what is the rental car place?
Let's call her Hertz.
It was a Hertz.
Sponsored by Hertz.
It was a Hertz location. And when she goes, do you have a walking stick? And I goes, oh yeah, like I sprained my ankle a few like years ago. I still have it. So she like right before we got out of the car, she goes, watch this. And she like gets out of the car and I hand her a walking stick and she's like walking at the slowest glacial pace as if she's like very injured. And she's a very lively, fully with it person. We get to the
not
desk,
at the Hertz rental car.
And she goes, oh, before we exit the car, she goes, this is what's going to happen. She goes, you're my boss and you are very, very upset with me. And she goes, I need you to give it your all. So it was like an acting challenge. So we walk into Hertz. She has her like walking stick. And I go, can you hurry up? And she goes, sorry, sir. I'm coming. And I go, I can't deal with this. I have multiple meetings today. You're slowing me down. We get to the front. Everyone in the office is looking at me like I'm the biggest piece of shit.
Because you're like this young, buff white man.
I know
at an
the
old,
dynamic, like the character
woman.
I was playing. I was like, okay, I'm like a big media mogul, like influencer type, and this is like my disgusting assistant who I hate and treat like trash. And everyone in the office is like looking at me like I'm the devil, and I'm loving it. Because
that means you're delivering.
And we're just like playing these characters. And she's like talking to the person at the front desk, and she was like, I had to get a car from my boss to drop off his and I go, I don't want to hear your excuses. I just want you to get this hand. And everyone in the office is looking at me. She goes, I'm so sorry, boss. You can dock my pay for the next month. It's okay. And I go, I am going to be docking your pay. You're going to be working for free for the next 6 months after this horse shit you pulled on me. And the manager comes and he goes, you know what? We're just going to comp the whole thing. We're going to comp the whole thing. And I go, good. Yeah. Are you happy now? And she goes, I'm sorry, boss. It will never happen again. And I go, yeah, it better not. And I pull out my phone. And I'm like, I need to look for a new assistant. This isn't going to work out. And everyone's like, we're going to comp the whole thing. And I go, okay. And she goes, okay, so all of it will be off. And they go, yeah. And then I turn around and everyone I can see her and they go, we're so sorry. He seems so horrible.
Look, Matt, I have some returns that I have kept over 30 days. And if you would like to come with me.
I mean, it was
to the row DTLA.
The most fun improv challenge ever.
So you had, I'm just trying
to comped the whole thing. She used the car for multiple days. They comped the whole thing.
So I'm trying to get to why you agreed to this. Was it because you needed the money off your credit card?
I did.
I'm asking this fully non-judgmentally. You mastered this entire situation
so bad
while being a pawn. You can be both at once, non-binary. But
it was just such a funny. At this point, it was such a funny game for her. But also, I knew she didn't have the money at the time, and she had used my card. Yeah. And so I was like, I need to get this off.
You sure did.
So how are we gonna do it? The funniest thing, like, so we walk out, and she goes. And when we turn around, I'm almost dying laughing. Like I'm almost about to break. And she goes, hold it together. Hold it together. And we're walking into the office. She's like creepily walking with the limp because like she told them she had a stroke. So she's walking with the limp and I'm muttering things under my breath. And I'm like, you made me look like a fucking idiot up there. You have no idea how horrible and disrespected I feel. And everyone's still looking at her. We're walking. She's like, hold it. We get to my car. We get inside. She throws a stick in the back. She cranks Kendrick Lamar and she goes, bam, bitches, we did it. And we just are dying laughing. And I was like, oh my God, that was the most fun I've had in years.
She was a mentor. Sounds like she was a mentor. It was
so funny. But wow, I guess I owe a fucking amends to Hertz car rental.
It would be kind of iconic for you to. Can we film you going back and telling them the reality of that situation and being like, if she ever tries this shit again, don't fall for it.
Oh man.
Bonus content.
I know, that was so fun.
So you at that time were not experiencing this as a red flag. You were like, we figured it out together.
Well, when we did that was like an acting challenge and it was fun. And we both.
When you consented to it.
And we were both in it together. And I was kind of learning from her. Like I think I was such a shell of a person after this breakup. And anyone who could give me strong direction and tell me what to do, like it was an assignment and I live for that. Yeah. I wanted an assignment. So she gave me that. She told me the character to play and we did it. And it was so fun. And then, it was off to the races. And then we like went out and I was like, we just saved $150. I'm taking you out to dinner, whatever.
That's what they call girl math.
And then we like go back to my place and watch a movie. And like, it was just, and during this time, I'm like crafting like our crazy sitcom that I'm going to write, like the two of us. And
so I'm trying to figure out that we're 6 weeks in, few weeks in.
This is like 3 or 4 weeks in. Yeah.
When is it starting to go dark mode for you? Like, I imagine there's a point at which you start telling her no and she doesn't accept that. Like, when does this start becoming obvious that it's bad? When I tell
her no.
Yeah.
The first time that I told her no, a switch went off in her brain and I saw a side of her that I had never been on the other side of. Where I meant nothing to this person.
You couldn't be used the way she wanted you to anymore, so you could be discarded.
She had owed me a certain amount of money at that time. She was like, the money's coming. And I said, I can't give you any more money until I'm paid back.
Wait, so had you been loaning your boss money at this point?
Yes, but the strategic thing on her end was that the first time she paid me for my hours.
Yeah.
The second week she borrowed money from me. Pardon me. The second time she borrowed money from me.
She paid you back.
And then she paid me back for that money with interest.
Have you seen The Tinder Swindler?
No.
This is exactly how it works.
So like she had proven to me that she would pay me back.
Exactly.
So now it's on the third time and it's been a couple of weeks and she hasn't paid me back, but she guarantees she's going to pay me back with interest. And so me, Capricorn, business minded, I'm like, I'm making money from this. I'm not just helping someone out. Sure. My end, I'm also making money from this, which was agreed upon. And so I'm like, okay. And then I tell her, I was like, I can't be giving you any money anymore. And it's like the life was sucked out of her face. And she was like, I'm leaving. I'm going out. And I was like, what? And I was
where?
Like, and she was
You're
like,
homeless, bitch.
I'm going. I'll find a way. I don't need you. She goes, you need me. I don't need you. You need me. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're staying on my couch. Like, you don't have anywhere to go. She goes, I'll figure it out. And I go, you still owe me money. And she goes, oh, is that what this was all about? The money? And I go, no, of course not. I love you. Like, you're like family. We had called each other family at this point. She was calling me dad. I forgot this. She was calling me dad.
Or nephew, but I understand.
No, but she'd be like, hi, dad. How's it going, dad?
Did you feel like she was your mom, though?
We just had this really, and I was joking that she was my Native American daughter.
Oh, my God.
But I was, she would call me dad and it was this cute relationship. And then also other sober people in the rooms would be like, I've never seen her like this in like a decade. Like she's happy. She's like really like coming around and she's becoming
her best
herself
mark
again.
she ever had.
Her best what?
Her best mark she ever had.
What does that mean?
Mark is like someone you can get one over on.
Oh.
So there's a documentary on Netflix called Con Mum, where this mom like basically goes around, you find out at the end, I'm spoiling it, she's been going around to men internationally and been like, you're my son, and then like they give her tons of money because she says she's sick and then she ghosts them, like adopted children.
Yeah.
She finally did that to her real son. That's who like we follow at the beginning. And so it's like, wow, that was your real son, but she still conned you like the fucking rest of them. And so she also had the best time. She also got to finally meet her family, but it doesn't mean he wasn't still just a mark.
I was a mark.
That sucks.
Oh my God.
That really sucks.
So she, we had that altercation and she left. She like went somewhere else for a few nights. And I like,
do you know where?
She went to a person who worked at that cafe who she had been friends with, and she started staying at his place. And I called him and I was like, hey, you should be aware that she was with me and she just cut me off in a half a second. And he was sucked in too deep and he was like, that, you know, that's not going to happen, whatever. A couple days later, I get a call from him, and like, he was like, she's acting kind of strange. She asked me to buy her some stuff and I couldn't do it. And then she got really upset with me. Damn. And we didn't talk for maybe a few days at this point. And then I started to miss her. And
of course,
she saw me. I was back at that cafe and she saw me, and like, we saw each other, and she was like, how have you been? You know, I apologize. I was out of hand. Like, and I was like, it's all good. We're family. Families fight. And I was like, why don't you stay at my place again? I invited her back in fully.
I understand. I do. She was getting you in what they call like the addictive abuse cycle, which includes extreme highs and extreme lows. She knew how to deliver both.
Yeah.
People, whenever someone has like some shit happen to them, it's usually not like a random homeless woman with a gay guy, but like an ex or whatever. Well, they'll be like, well, we had good times. It's like, yeah, no, that's part of it. That's not an exception to the rule. That's part of the rule. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here at all. If someone only treats you like shit, what's the trick? They have to trick you by delivering hard on both ends.
Yeah.
And if you are addicted to excitement, you get really, really addicted to that swing and the rush of relief of resolution.
And I needed a project.
Yeah.
And when she left, I was like, I'm not capable of facing myself and being with myself at this moment. I needed her to be there. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's weird. She came crawling back and I was desperate.
You almost were crawling.
No,
back to her too.
She was right. I needed her. Mm-hmm. I needed her at that time.
Damn.
So then we had a good cycle again. We hit it off for a couple weeks. And I believe she got like a paycheck in and was able to pay me back.
From what? From like book royalties? Or where is she getting any money at all?
I think because she's native.
Checks from the government?
Yeah. Yeah, checks from the government. And all of her mail was coming to my place. So she eventually got another check in and then was able to cover that. And so I was paid back again. So I was like, okay. And
then back on top.
We're back. Then everything was golden. And I was like, okay, we're on a good track now. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to always have to be there for you when you need money. Why don't I take out a credit card and give it to you? And so I gave her...
This was your idea?
Yes, because it would be easier for me. Because what I kept having to do was go to ATMs, get out cash. Because if she would go other places without me, like I wanted her to have some
She
agency.
definitely cornered you.
Oh my God, I didn't even...
Yeah? Yeah?
This is so sick.
You know you're in a safe space.
You're
talking to people with the same sickness
very
as you.
Early on in our relationship, she was like, I don't understand. Very early on in our relationship, she said, she was like, I was really into Kendrick Lamar at this time. And she goes, Kendrick Lamar is playing on Father's Day in Toronto. Drake's city.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Drake's hometown.
That's the only Canadian city that they chose to put on their tour.
And they're playing on Father's Day. Uh-huh. And she goes, we're going to that concert. She goes, I know people at Live Nation. We're going to be front row hanging out with Kendrick Lamar. I'm taking you with me. And she goes, I'm also going to take you to London with me. Where I'm from, you're going to be all my friends.
Oh, she's from London? She's an American
I don't fucking know, dude.
Indigenous person.
I don't know. London. I don't know. Nothing makes sense anymore. And I banked this in my head so confidently. I was like, wow, I'm going to London with this person. She's taking me to Toronto to see Kendrick Lamar on Father's Day.
Because when you are not somebody like this, you can't imagine somebody would just say that with no base. You can't imagine saying to someone, yeah, I'll take you to fucking London and I'll get us backstage with Kendrick Lamar, because you would never do that. Yeah. It's not conceivable to you that someone would even lie that way.
And I'm a dreamer. I'm like a romantic. And I'm like, wow, God brings these people into your life. And like my dream was to like see Kendrick Lamar on this tour, but I knew tickets were so expensive. I didn't have a job. How was this going to happen? And he's going to part the seas for me to be able to do this.
Shout out God.
And honestly, when we were having fun with that person, I was having more fun than I'd had in years.
Yeah.
When it was good, it was the best.
Yep.
And when it was bad, it was the worst.
Yep.
So, things were on a good streak for a little bit. She has a credit card of mine. I'm looking at her purchases and it's not sustainable to me. every day she's getting like 6 different iced coffees from different shops. Like she's spending like, 70,
she has to set up her next mark.
$70-$80 a day.
She's fishing for her
like
next
for
place
someone
to
who's
stay.
like doesn't have stable income. I'm like, you're spending $80 a day on iced coffee. This is crazy. But it's all going to my card, so I can see all of her transactions. But it's just like iced coffee from like every different coffee shop. Like, and after a while, it's racked up now to this point. It's getting to like $2,000 or
$2,000 in iced coffees on the east side of LA.
And
she's not alone.
I start to wonder when I'm going to get paid back, and I don't have money to pay off I'm like so broke at this point. And so she's staying at my place at the time, and oh my God, also sorry, side anecdote. On Thanksgiving, I house sit for my friend.
Okay, yeah.
And I bring her, this just a side story. On Thanksgiving, she's living at my place again. She is staying at my place watching my cat while I'm house sitting for another friend. So it works out perfectly. I bring her back. And then I have all these Thanksgiving leftovers that I put in my fridge, and I'm like, I'm going to have food for a week. This is great. The next day I get back to my house and she goes, I have some very good news and I have some very bad news. Which one would you like to hear first? I said, the good news. And she goes, the good news is that we're going to see Kendrick Lamar in Toronto on Father's Day. The bad news, I ate all of the Thanksgiving leftovers.
Okay. Not to side with her. I do think a Native American woman gets to eat all of your Thanksgiving leftovers.
Yeah,
that one I'll give
okay.
her. That one I'll give her.
I'll give her that. Well, I never really thought about it from that perspective.
Oh, that's so funny.
Those are my
her
reparations.
2 white people saying reparations.
Just the most iconic line. The good news, we're seeing Kendrick Lamar on Father's Day in Toronto. The bad news, I ate all of your leftovers.
That might be the name of it. Can we have a 2-sentence long name of it?
I really want to do, it would be so fun to do a one-man show called Kendrick Lamar in Toronto on Father's Day.
And it's you talking about an old Native. But then you sew it all together. No, this is something that should be a one-person show. We're blocking it right now. That's what this episode is.
There was this ongoing, she would always, it was crazy. She would pull really hot guys. Hot
She
dudes.
was fucking in your house at 60?
She was like, I can't tell people how old I am because I don't want them to ever think that I have old pussy. She's like, I want them to know that I have bomb ass pussy.
Seems like she
And
did.
I would be like, do you? And she would be like, she was like, yeah. And I was like, and I would, get to know her life a little bit. I was like, did you ever have a kid? And she's like, hell no. I don't want a grenade blowing up my pussy. She was like, I got to keep that shit tight. Just the funniest shit to hear come out of a 6-year-old woman's mouth. But I would see the dude she was pulling. And multiple nights she used my card to get a hotel room so she could hook up with these dudes. And one of the dudes, I was with one of my buddies at the time and we picked him up and dropped her off with him at the hotel.
You're literally her dad. You are her dad.
I was
setting
her dad.
up her fuck dates on your credit card.
No, it was psycho. But I was like, have fun, girl. And it was so funny to me. It was just an unimaginable situation. But we would drop them off and my friend looked at me and he was like, that dude is hot as fuck. And I was like, yeah, this is wild.
And they're young. They're I don't know.
The guys are
20s,
in their 30s.
So
she would always say things like this. She's like, I'm a dark meat and I love the white meat. And I would be like, she's like, it is what it is. It is what it is. She's like, I love white meat. She was like, I'm a dark meat and I love a white meat. And I would just be like, okay,
ate all your
girl, more power
turkey.
to you. And then ate all my Thanksgiving leftovers. Yeah.
Okay, so this is now your new phase. She's living off your credit card. I'm guessing it hit the limit and then maybe you hit yours. When did it sort of begin to fall?
Yeah, I was getting to a point where the card was maxing out and then she was asking for more extraneous favors. I'm going to need to rent a U-Haul for the day because I'm going to start I'm going to start a vintage clothing sale thing.
Of course.
And then like she's like, so I'm gonna need to borrow your driver's license as well because like mine's not active anymore to rent the car, and then your credit card. And she's like, I'm gonna need another credit card because this one's maxing out. And then like it got to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know when I'm gonna see the money. So money was really the breaking point for us, which is, you know, I think the most common cause of divorce, right? Finances.
Let's maybe reclassify the role this person had in your life.
What the full breaking point was, but
sometimes it's non-linear, right?
Yeah, I'm
it's
trying.
Like there was
we had a. Oh my god! So she talked about her bomb ass pussy a lot. It was like a really big point that she would make all the time. Like, I have one of the tightest pussies on earth, and so I knew it was like a sensitive area for her because that's what she took a lot of pride in. Okay. So one night I get back to my place and I'm like standing my ground and I'm like, I have to tell her I can't give her any more money. And I say, Ava, I love you. You're my family. I can no longer give you money until you pay me back. And she goes, what? You're not giving me any more? And I'm like, no. And also you haven't, she goes, so you're a manipulator. And I go, what? And she goes, you've been using me to look good to everyone in sobriety about how good your sobriety is. You're using me. You've been using me this whole time, and now it all came down to fucking money.
That's so smart.
I knew it, you white racist piece of shit. This was all for the money. And I go, no, I just don't have any money and I can't give you any more. And she goes, I have gone out of my way for you and everyone. And I go, well, you know, you did promise that you would deep clean my apartment and you've never done that. And she goes, oh, you wanted me to deep clean for you? And she goes, I am not your porch N-word. And I'm like in shock. And she's like screaming the N-word. And
she's
I'm like
saying the actual N-word.
Yes. And I was like, what? And she goes, I am not your porch N-word. And I was like, what? And I was like, are you allowed to say that?
I don't think so. I think she could say a lot, but not that.
And she's screaming it at me. And I go, I never said that that's what you are. And she goes, you're a white supremacist. I fucking knew it. And at this point, I was like, you need to get the fuck out of my house. And she looks at me and she goes, I'm not going anywhere.
Bitch, why do you want to stay?
And while this is happening, I have tickets to see The Brutalist. It's in theaters. And my friend is outside calling my phone because we're like late for the movie. And he's honking his horn outside where I'm like, get the fuck out of my house now. And you owe me $2,000. And she goes, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here. And she starts washing the dishes. And she goes, I'm going to be a good porch N-word for you. And she just starts washing my dishes. I was like, stop washing the dishes. Get the fuck out of my house. She goes, I'm not going anywhere. And I go, get the fuck out of my house. And she's like, I'm not going anywhere. And I go, well, you know what? I bet you have a loose pussy and a dangling labia. And she goes, you didn't fucking say that. And I go, yeah, you've got a loose pussy. And she goes, I can't believe you would fucking say that. First you came for me because of my skin color, and now you're defaming my genitalia. How dare you? And so I like run out to go to the movie, and before I slam the door, and I go, dangling labia. And I slam the door, and I can hear her fucking screaming at me.
And then
I get in the car and I go to The Brutalist, and she's just sending me text after text being like, how dare you white people? She goes, you know what you used to do to Native American women's genitalia. Yeah. You have a history. And I'm just like, I don't know. And I text and I was like, that was so inappropriate of me. I'm so sorry. And she go, I recorded the whole conversation. I'm taking you down. And
good. I hope she did. Did she?
I don't know. That would be fun to have those voice clips.
You did one thing wrong that you already apologized for that also has no like legal standing. That conversation, saying someone has an old bitch labia is probably not, but like you're not gonna get sued for that. You can literally sue her for the $2,000 plus she owes you. It
was crazy.
How was The Brutalist? I haven't seen it.
The Brutalist.
You might have been distracted.
God, it was such a stressful. The music in that movie is so beautiful. It sucked me in right away.
Oh, good. Oh, you needed that, and this is why art's important.
I did. I was in The Brutalist, and then like I had just. And I told my friend what was going on, and he was like, you're being manipulated. And I was like, no, that's not what this person is doing. Like, they mean well. I think they're just having a hard time. They're going through a lot. Right. They're 60 days sober. You know, they're transitioning in their life, whatever. And I'm experiencing a lot of white guilt as well.
Well, that is a real thing that can be used against someone. Because what you're saying is true. Everything you're saying is true. Like, if she's hearkening back to like white abuse of indigenous girls, that's not even historical. That's like still happening now. Like, she's using real things against you in an interpersonal situation. Yeah. And when you do genuinely care about people.
I do. To this day, I still fucking love her. But yeah, then the movie ended, and you know what I did? I went and I bought her she loved leopard print, and I went and bought her some leopard print slippers, and I brought them back to her, and I apologized.
This is your abusive wife.
And
you had an old
I got you an early Christmas gift. And she goes, I love them. And then, you know, it was just like family. We fight, we get along.
Some families do act this way, but it doesn't mean they should.
It was so dysfunctional.
So, do you have any of these texts? You said she was texting you nonstop.
Oh.
Because you have shared them with me I got a blip in the past, and I think it's
been so long since I've texted her.
Is your phone over there?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find these. I might have deleted them.
And I'm going to be honest, part of this story is appealing to me because I'm really afraid I'll find myself in a very similar situation. I want you to know that's the place I'm coming from. There's no part of me that's like, how could you? When I'm listening to you, I'm like, how do I make sure I don't? Especially because we talked about this on your podcast. I was homeless. I have extreme guilt. Every homeless person I walk by, especially near my house, I'm like, why can't I just invite them in to take a shower? You know?
Yeah.
And they probably would never leave.
Yeah. And I mean, that was a part of my thought process too. I was like, if I have the resources, I have a place where someone can stay. Why would I not?
People have done that for me. Like, I would want to do that for anyone too, especially if it's a elderly indigenous woman calling me racist. That might kind of make me think about what I was doing.
Oh, and then, oh my God, I was spending time with one of my friends at this time, and we were hooking up, and then she just went on this huge rant about how I was using men for sex, and I wasn't.
What is she doing?
I don't know.
She's like, I only use men for their credit cards. Which again, if it wasn't you, Matt, I wish she did this to a bad person with more money, because then I'd kind of be into it. I wish she did this to an actual white villain, which you're not. I'll find her one.
Oh my God. No. I forgot. At the same time, my good friend was staying he joined us in the house, and he was on a meth bender. And I took him in as well. So now I had two people living on my couch. Really good friend of mine. And straight dude, whatever. And
did you know him from program? Or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A really good buddy of mine.
Which again, happens.
He was a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
nothing happened.
Happen and be okay.
I can just start reading some text. But that's just some context for these texts.
Sure. Okay.
But she says, Dear Matt, you are a tiresome hack. I hope there isn't more amateur drama with my checks. When do you want to meet at Echo Park Library? I'm not reading your text. Mr. Ripley Jr. got rid of my ID on your phone. I don't want to report you for identity theft to the feds. How demented and fragmented are you that you never even asked to photograph my ID? I had to photograph her ID when she was using my car. So I had a picture of it. I wouldn't have had an issue, but your behavior, highly questionable. And I said, Ava, please look at your own behavior. She said, I always do. My sloppy labia, and I have to rest now. Get rid of my ID, otherwise I'll call the BIA. They have your bank details, etc. I said,
What's
okay.
The BIA?
Bureau of Indian Affairs.
Oh, fuck.
And I said, okay, have a good rest. And she said, because as you called me insane and deluded, I could call up your friend and tell her how you took advantage of her boyfriend. The friend who was staying on my couch.
Okay.
I did not have, she made up this narrative that I hooked up with him, which I never did. Mm-hmm. We've never had any kind of relationship like that. And I said, in what ways did I take advantage of him? I gave him food and shelter and took him to rehab. She said, I can tell as a witness to my insanity, I want to square off with you, and then I never want to exchange another word with you. I said, I'm sorry you had a bad experience with my friend, but that was out of my control. And she said, be careful with your liberal use of text and calling others crazy or unbalanced. It could come back to haunt you. I hear you know ill will. I wish you well. After the 90 bank statements have been clarified, we are done. How many idiotic statements can a gay frat boy make? I don't care about your provincial petty drama. My disfigured genitalia, and I wish you the best. And I said, I only have love for you, and I'm always rooting for you. Have a good rest. She said, blah, blah, blah. There you go. Have the last word. I'll be removing your address from my mail. And I said, thank you. No text from her. 1 week later, she says, Matt, please call me 911. Matt, please call me 911. And then like just keeps texting me back other insane things.
Did you ever call her?
So
did you find out what the 911 was?
No, I don't think at that point. So long story short, but I told her I could no longer house her anymore. And she said, she said, if you can just drop me off at this motel, I'll get all my things and like get out. And so I went to house sit for my friend, and I had another friend of mine pick her up, and I was like, can you pick up this woman and take her to the motel? Because if I get back in that car, I'm going to get sucked back in. I can't do it.
It's going to be something else.
At this point, we were ending on good terms or whatever. My friend ends up taking her to the motel, and what ends up happening is she tells him, she goes, I don't have any money. I guess I'll just like get shot on the street and die. He ends up paying for 3 nights for her at a motel, and he gets sucked into it. And then we have this huge trauma bonding moment over this. But that was the last time she stayed with me. And then she still owed me $2,600.
Right.
And which at the time for me was a lot of money. And
that's like most people's rent, at least.
And it got to a point where I had to I was losing a lot of sleep over it. I was getting stressed about it, and I called some people for advice, and they were like my best advice is to let it go. They were like, block her number and trust that God will provide for you in other ways.
Like, it's less reliable to assume this person can ever pay you back.
It's going to be more harmful for you to continue to. They're like, just trust the money will come back around in other ways, and don't worry about it.
Do you like that you took that advice? Do you feel good about it?
I do.
That's actually, I think I needed to hear that today. Because, sometimes people are less trustworthy than literal random chance. Like, you almost know she was never going to pay you back.
It's weird because she had historically paid me back for some things, but then
that's part of her.
When I showed her the bank statements of everything, she told me, she was like, I'm getting a forensics accountant, we're cross-referencing everything, blah blah blah. And a lot of it was when there was still stuff she owed me from when I would take out cash. So I didn't have all receipts from when I had the credit card receipts and I had the statements for that, which I sent over to her, but that I think it was only $1,500 on one of the credit cards, and the other like $1,100 was somewhere else.
Jesus.
So it just got really, really dicey. And I was stressed, and I don't know how much of that. I'm like, who's your forensics accountant? Like some dude in a tent smoking meth? Like, what is going on?
100%.
But yeah, I had to, it was a hard choice, but as soon as I did it, I felt an immediate sense of relief. And it was just like a big trusting process for me to be like, okay, this is going to come back to me in other ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will say, I think it has. And I also think when I was in active addiction, I was such a manipulative person and I stole from a lot of people and corporations and
corporations
stores.
Is fine.
That's
stores
what they
fine.
say, but I mean, I still went to those stores and I told them about it.
Oh, as a part of your making amends?
Yeah.
How did they respond when you did that?
Some of the most beautiful experiences I've had.
Oh my God, I'll cry just thinking about it.
I mean, one time I went to like Home Depot and I was like, hey, is there a manager available? And they were like, I'm the manager. And I was like, oh, is there anyone higher up than you? And he was like, the 6 people right here we're all in charge of this location. And I go, hi guys, I don't know how to say this, but I'm like on this new spiritual path and I'm trying to make right of my wrongs. And I stole around $10,000 worth of stuff from this Home Depot location. and I want to know how I can make it right. And the guy was just like, whatever. They all were just like shocked. And one of the women like started crying, and she was like, anytime a manager is called, it's just someone to complain, and you're like restoring my faith in humanity.
People are very disarmed by that level of honesty and accountability and caring. I would cry too. I think if I was a manager, I'd cry too.
And yeah, the guy said, I don't know what spiritual path you're on, but just continue on it. And yeah, and he was like, you're free to go, and you're free to come back, and next time you want something from here, just pay for it. And I said, okay, I can do that.
What were you? Can I just know what were you stealing from Home Depot?
Like when I was manic, especially in addiction, I would like work on projects. Like, I mean, I probably painted every room in my apartment.
That's such a fucking
like would
meth
build
activity.
shelves. Like, yeah, I just bought, and I redid a friend's place as well. Like, built them a whole like plant bed.
Damn,
like,
I wish I knew you in this manic stage.
I know.
I got
was
shit I
getting
need
a ton
done.
of stuff.
I got a wall-sized map to put up. I just kicked someone out, so I'm alone now.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. That's actually a beautiful story.
It was cute. So I don't know. In some ways, it was easier for me to let go of it because I was like, I've been that person in different ways.
And that's the thing is like, I think that was part of why you were probably drawn into, because you're like, well, I could be projecting now, but you're sort of like, oh, I know what it's like to be in your position. So one, I want to help you. I want to like lend whatever I can, but also I can't get got when I'm the one who used to get. I know the game, so I can't be played by it.
And I couldn't see this at the time, but you know, when people show you who they are, believe them.
That's the realest.
She showed me that She showed me that early on, and my part in that is I needed her. I needed her at that time. I needed a new project. I was so used to focusing on guys to fulfill me that I needed a homeless, toothless 6-year-old woman for me to pour myself into.
And that really does make sense. It really does make sense to me. This was now a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
You're away from it. It's over. She doesn't contact you. She's on to the next one.
No. I saw her maybe 6 months ago.
Oh, really?
And
get nice coffee.
Truly. And
her diarrhea
I was like,
must be crazy. Sorry.
I was like, she's probably embarrassed to see me. And so like, I'm just going to be really sweet. And so I went up to her and I just said, hey, I hope you're doing well. And she wouldn't look at me. And it really irked me.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it feel like she was trying to get away with shit still?
Well, then she went up to other people around and was so friendly and so fun.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Also, when this happened, when it was done, and the weird thing about it is when I was in it, I was so embarrassed to tell people that I was giving her all this money because I knew that they would tell me to stop. And when it was over, I came clean to people about it, and they're like, you're like the 10th person that this has happened to.
She has a complete protocol. Yeah.
And then all these people came up and they're like, she was with me right before you, and she was with him right before you, and she was with her right before you. And I was like, God damn, she got me so good. You were probably the most fun one for her too. I hope so. I'd like to think so. We had the most fun. We were characters. Damn. I'm glad you're out of it. This sounds like it was a formative learning experience for you. It was. I've never been the same since, and it taught me a lot about boundaries. And when I talked to mentors of mine, they were like, you weren't helping this person. This is not a healthy way to help someone. This is enabling, and it's actually very dangerous. Yeah. And I learned my lesson. I was like, oh, there's limitations to the amount that I can help someone. I can't save anyone. You can't save anybody. And we hate to hear that. Yeah. Now she's on a reservation in Oklahoma. How do you know that? It's just through the grapevine. Okay. Program and fellows and whatever. Yeah. You've kept up with her. I mean, maybe that's best if that's a return to home for her. Yeah, I hope she's best. Yeah, I think those are the people who would be able to call her out on her shit that she respects, that she knows that she can't get away with stuff. If there's anyone. But I wish her the best. I still think she's the funniest person I've ever met. And I still love her. But thank God I'm removed, and I can only say that a year plus later. Detached with love. Yeah. So I have to go. I know, right? Speaking of, quickly, there's just one little segment we end on. Okay. What's something that you want to go no contact with? What's something I want to go no contact
It could be
with?
anything.
Oh.
It could be slow walkers. It could be iced coffees. It could be...
Oh. I would love to go no contact with social media.
Oh, tell me about that.
I'm bricking up my phone right now. It does not mean my phone has an erection.
Opposite.
I got that Brick app. I'm not sponsored by them, but like you tap it and then it blocks like every social media program on your phone. And
what does it do for you in your heart and your mind?
I was like spiraling and losing my mind. And then I was like, oh, I just need calmness and I need to not live in a state of comparison.
And the state of comparison is all
in the real world.
They need to call social media like comparison apps because that's all it actually is. It's just FOMO, like manufactured FOMO.
Yeah.
Literally, the reason I started surfing and loving it, I think, is because it just made me be off my phone.
And being in nature, I think that's like the best way to connect with yourself.
Truly, truly. Okay, that's a good one. I have a little no contact, and then I'll let you friggin' go do your work. Go do your little work. This was enthralling. This fucking flew by.
I wish I could stay longer.
No, you actually buttoned it up like in such good time. Okay, if I were to pick one thing, okay, I would like to go no contact with restaurants not putting their kitchen hours online instead of their opening hours. If I show up to your restaurant, if you say you're open till 10 and I show up at 9:45. And you don't want to feed me anymore, you're not gonna make me food. You should have just said you closed at 9:30. I don't care when you want to kick people out. I'm planning about my future, okay? I'm not planning while I'm already there. Just I'm not mad you have kitchen hours. I'm not mad you have boundaries, but you just be clear about your boundaries. Restaurants on your Google freaking identity, whatever it is. Normally it's put kitchen hours instead of opening hours on the goddamn Google and Yelp applications. That's it.
And they're often wrong.
They're usually wrong. Especially post-pandemic.
I also would like to go no contact with straight men who are nice to me. Straight men need to be mean again. They're like sensitive these days. I'm like, are you gay? Like, why are you being nice to me? Like, if you're not trying to hit it, like walk away. I don't need you to compliment my outfit. I don't need you to throw me a smile when you're walking by. Like, call me the F slur.
At least I know where we stand.
I'm in freaking Silver Lake trying to get a fucking macchiato, and some nail polished Silver Lake bitch is like telling me they like my shoes. Are you freaking gay, dude? And then he's with his partner who's a straight girl. Get the frick out of here. I want to no contact that.
And we'll end on that. Amazing. Thank you, Matt. I love you.
All right. Love you.
No call, no text, no contact.